Welcome back to another episode of Happy Friday America. My name is Arthur. I'm about to bring in the energy on this fantastic day. We have a hell of a show lined up with a lot of interesting and major developments happening around the world, and I'm just so excited to be here. I know it's been a hell of a long week, as we've been talking about before we hit this record button. So across the table from me, I got Kevin holding the boys back this month and about to take a breath. Batstone.
Happy Friday, America. Good to see you. Got a little rest last weekend. Going to need more rest this weekend. We kick my ass again. We're halfway through November. We got a great episode coming. Let's go.
Let's do this, and let's bring it in America with Today in History. So 1835, Charles Darwin reaches Tahiti. So this is the first time the vessel that they're on is called HMS Beagle, in case if you love that breed of dog. I have some funny Beagle stories I won't be telling today.
I know a few of those.
And this is where he would later formulate his ideas, where he wrote the structure and distribution of coral reefs. So kind of like the early coral reef stuff, and we know how important those are to the ecosystems within our oceans. 1926, first formal radio network, RCA, takes over AT&T 25 station, and that later becomes NBC. I think they sold it for a good amount. There was another article on that, but we're going to keep it moving to 1956, some Elvis Presley news, and that is when Love Me Tender was released. That was Presley's debut, and that premieres in the United States, of course.
The King.
The King. People still love, I mean...
I'll still listen to Elvis Presley. He was a badass.
Wasn't it drugs?
Probably.
That killed him? But then they think he's still alive, just like Tupac Shakur.
And others.
Moving to... we got to talk some nuke news here. So 1960, the USS George Washington is the first sub with nuclear ballistic missiles capability to launch those missiles from a submarine. So that was in 1960. And then I had to bring this one in. 1986, Beastie Boys released their first debut album, Licensed to Ill, and that's the first #1 rap album on the Billboard charts. I didn't realize that Beastie Boys had the first #1 Billboard rap album.
I think I did know that. What's crazy is we're coming up on almost 40 years ago.
I know.
You know, Metallica had their 40th, which was 1983, and I mean, we're 2 years away from the Beastie Boys' first record being 40 years old. That's insane.
That's crazy, and that's Today in History. We're going to keep this one moving. We've seen a big spike in crypto. Tell us about that, Kev.
Yeah, the crypto market's been pretty wild. I mean, we're recording here on Thursday night, so a little bit of a pullback, of course. There's always going to be corrections in crypto, and really any stock investing that you do. It's been, you look at the chart, absolutely astronomical. It's been following a lot of the planned trajectories. Getting through the election definitely helped the future of cryptocurrency. And, President-elect Trump announced earlier this week that Doge is going to be a form of the government, which is going to be the Department of Government Efficiency.
Okay.
And Elon Musk is going to run. Doge just also happens to be a crypto coin that is owned by Elon Musk. Mm-hmm. So if you own Doge like I do, you're having a fantastic week. It looks like, it's just so unpredictable. But I think by the end of the year, we're going to see Bitcoin go over 100,000. Doge might reach $1. It is a great time to invest, but be careful. Don't FOMO in, right? Because
I'm almost there.
And you know what? If you do that, if you buy in, you got to hold.
Yeah.
Right? You got to hold. And that's what I did in 2021, and I took a huge loss. Right? Back when Bitcoin was at 50,000 and ended up pulling all the way back down into 27,000, I took a huge loss. Mm-hmm. I held it. I rode it. Got my dollar cost average down, and now it's all incremental profits, baby.
Yeah, so this would be the worst time to buy that specific one, is how I feel.
I'd buy it on a red day like today. We're down about 3% today from where we were all week. Buy it when it's red, sell it when it's green. Classic trading.
That makes sense. All the stock stuff and day trading is something I've never really gotten into. Be careful out there. It is a form of gambling.
Yeah.
I do believe that.
Keep close eye on it.
Unless you got in like fixed indexed accounts to where it's a locked in increase whenever there's a positive percentage, and then you get a locked in amount even if it does dip down after that. So there are some safer ones to invest in, but
you just got to know you got to know your lane, and
you do.
If you're going to day trade, you got to watch it like a hawk. It's that simple.
Yep. And somebody that's watching us like a hawk, or what is watching humanity like a hawk, the United States government, experts testify before lawmakers that the U.S. is running a secret UAP program, and UAP is unidentified aerial phenomenon, formerly known as UFOs. So they're kind of changing the terminology to UAP, And I've talked about aliens a couple times here on Happy Friday. It's always an interesting subject for film and humanity and intrigue and curiosity, of course. But you got these guys that are testifying, saying things like, let me be clear, UAPs are real. Advanced technologies that are not made by our government or any other government are being used and reverse engineered so we can understand the technology. They say things along the lines that there's been multiple decades long arms race with this UAP type of technology. There was a lot of things mentioned in here. I'm just going to kind of rattle off a couple other things, like that it might not actually be the biologic, like they say that they got biologicals, right? So, but these biologicals that they have could potentially be a form of machine. Like if you think about how humans explore, we send a robot or like a camera or like a rover, which is a robot.
Yeah, up to Mars.
So why wouldn't aliens send like robots here? So maybe what we're encountering is that we've had all this evidence of like fighter jet groups, like there was with advancements in radar and stuff that we've had in like the last decade. We think that they're letting us see them more, or maybe they were always there this much and we just actually developed our technology to the point where we can see them. Even I've heard testimonies from people in our friend group, I'm not going to name names here, but that used to look at radar installations and stuff and dispatch fighter jets to go check it out and saw like a slow moving black orb type of thing.
Right.
So this is real.
Oh yeah.
It's here. We're not alone in the universe, according to government officials. And in the comments, of course, and I want to hear your feedback, but in the comments, of course, people are saying, oh, why are they telling us now? They're trying to distract us, and then so if they are trying to distract us, what is it from? Conflict, proxy wars, what are they trying to distract us from? Or like, are they trying to implement internal policies that, affect the United States population? That affects us all. And so it's like, some people think it's like legit, but also a distraction technique. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I think we hit it on the head with technology's gotten better. I mean, because there was always footage of, hey, look, a UFO, but it was like horribly pixelated. You couldn't even see it. People are like, it isn't real. It's not credible, right? And I think with the radar where it's at now, with the amount of aviation that we have going on out there, a lot of the testimony is coming from fighter pilots, and these guys seeing it with their own two eyes. There's no question that they exist, right? We just don't know what they are, essentially. Where they come from, how are they manufactured? That's what I think that this UAP and this organization and what these guys are going to try to do is figure out, what is it? I
started thinking, what if they've always been on Earth? What if this is their home world? And they just have like underground bases, underwater bases.
It's possible.
And have just been existing like in the shadows.
That would tie into the hollow Earth theory, conspiracy theory.
Like they could, who knows? There's a lot of curiosity there. Definitely an interesting subject that we could probably have a whole podcast on.
We could.
And talking about podcasts, Discussion Combustion dropped yesterday with the solid lad, David Rush. He is not going to be featured for this week's Kevin's Random Records, but what you got?
Oh, the Random Records. And yeah, David Rush did not want to talk about conspiracy theories on that episode.
He didn't. I kind of brought that up.
It wasn't the time and place, but I would encourage people that tune into this show to go back and watch that one on DCPC with David Rush, because it was awesome, and he gave us an inside look into how these Guinness Book of World Records are certified and a lot of other good juice. So this week we've got a guy that's working out hard, Art. This man weighs exactly 201.8 pounds. The record that he is trying to beat is bench pressing his own body weight in record time.
Okay.
So that means how many reps he can do of his body weight in a record time.
Okay.
And I believe the time to beat was 38 repetitions in 30 seconds, 201.8 pounds. He got it done. Farzarm is his name. And he broke the record for doing it. The bar was raised, and now he did 44 reps. He's resubmitting, as we learned last night with David Rush. He's got the witness report. He's got the footage.
Okay.
It is currently pending with Guinness right now, which we learned takes about 90 days. And he will have the record for the benching your body weight in record time.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
I mean, any of these records, like you just think about when you're going up for this stuff, you are the only human that's ever done that, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's why you got the record.
Yeah, no one else has done it.
So I think that's crazy. My only concern, If you like, you're able to just focus on your pecs, is his body disproportionate?
I didn't see a picture.
You know,
of
it's one of those things, like, you know how some people, they focus a little too much on one muscle group.
They forgot about leg day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's not do that.
Well,
so
I can't say if he did or didn't do that, but
well, you know,
that's a hell of a record.
They say that the stronger your legs are, the stronger your torso gets.
Well, yeah, everything you want to be kind of symmetrical. You want it to be, you know, lower body strength, upper body strength. I've never. Let me think here. I think I did bench press my body weight back when I was working out, but I was not able to do that many reps in that amount of time.
That's a lot of reps. Do you think you're a contender for any world records?
Possibly for speed talking.
Okay.
Possibly. But there's people that are way quicker than me even.
Yeah.
Like some of those speed rappers, those guys that tech raps with. I mean, I can't. And they're crystal clear with it.
Yeah.
Like, I can kind of bullshit. I mean, maybe. I'd give it a go.
Okay. That's fun. I don't know. If you're listening in, what record do you think you could break in the world? Another question, though, that we're going to jump into is the Would You Rather of the week. Last week, we asked basically an ethical question. You know, are you going to be honest and have mediocre success, or are you going to do that little white lie that pays you buku bucks?
Yeah.
And America spoke.
It was a great Would You Rather last week, right before our episode went completely off the rails with uncontrollable laughter. We're going to try to keep it on the rails tonight. But, look, you did it to us again, America. We asked the world, right? Are you going to get silence for telling the truth or make profit for spreading lies? America went 50-50 again.
50-50, just like we did in the studio.
So we don't have a definitive answer.
But hey, you know, some of these things, that's how it is.
It's just an even split, baby.
It's the yin and the yang. So thank you so much for participating on the Would You Rather. Of course, you can vote on X, or you can leave a comment below in this YouTube video. This week's Would You Rather is we're giving up something here. And these are things that most people like.
I don't like this Would You Rather.
And I feel like we got to get into a conversation here about this. Would you rather give up hot showers, or would you rather give up toilet paper and like wet wipes?
Well, again, a lot of contingencies here, because the mind immediately goes, well, I'll just give up toilet paper and jump into the hot shower. Okay? That would mean every time you do your business, for the most part, you know, ladies included, unless you're going to drip dry, you would have to get in the shower immediately after. Every time you use the restroom, you would have to shower, essentially, is what that would be if you went that route. Or you could just be a mess and not shower, just walk around with shitty ass, right? Walk around with all that.
I don't think that you're exploring all the options here.
Okay, well, I'll be curious to hear your position. I think out of the gate, I'm going to go ahead and give up the hot shower.
Okay.
Because I'm a loyal customer to Dude Wipes. As you know, I have a whole stockpile of them at my house. The mint chill ones are fantastic. If used regularly, you can maintain hygiene with your body with it. You can clean your pits, you can clean your crotch, you can clean your ass, right? So there's still ways. And
you can still take a cold shower.
You could take a cold shower. Yeah, cold bath, cold shower is still in there. There's other ways you could clean your body.
And like you can still wipe your butt, but just with like newspaper or like
a beach towel?
Or like a towel, or you could just raw dog it with your hand and wash your hand off.
All right, so there is a lot more contingencies to this than I thought.
I'm just thinking, like I'm just removing toilet paper or wet wipes.
I think I'm going to stick with my Dude Wipes on this one.
So you're going cold showers.
Yeah, or other means of bathing, right?
Okay. So you're going cold shower. You're keeping the luxury of that minty fresh.
Yeah, I've been saying I want to get an ice bath anyway. This would force me to do it.
You know, that is true. And also, they say that like if you're showering in really hot water and you like have your hair underneath there, it makes it easier to lose hair because like your pores expand and then the hair falls out easier.
Interesting.
So you shouldn't, if you're trying to prevent hair loss, then you shouldn't be soaking your hair in hot water, for one.
Interesting. Didn't know that.
And then also there's all these health benefits to
cold,
kind of shocking the system with like the cold or something too. And those endorphins can last for hours afterwards. Yeah. So even though it's kind of unpleasant to be chilly and like it's exhilarating at the same time.
You'd get used to it.
So
you would get used to it.
You know, and it's not like I'm just going to be traveling around with like, you know, a handkerchief that I could use to wipe my derriere with. So I don't know, man. I think I'm going to keep the convenience of keeping a clean tushy.
Okay, you're going with me on this?
I'm going with you this week.
All right.
That's what I'm choosing. Kevin and I are both choosing toilet paper and wet wipes over hot showers.
What are you going to do, America? Where are you going? You want your hot shower? Or do you want a nice, clean, down south area.
Yeah, keep it minty, keep it fresh. What's next? We got investigators that think guys are faking their own deaths.
This story is just crazy. I mean, we usually try to keep it happy around here.
Okay.
I mean, the man's not dead, so we'll start there.
Okay.
So I'm not going to call him a solid lad. I'm going to call him a dumbass.
All right.
And he goes by the name of Ryan Borgwart, so we'll start with that. He has a dumbass name. And he decided it would be a good idea. He decided it would be a good idea to, and this was well planned. Okay, this wasn't like an improv decision. Like, I'm just going to go do this. Okay, let's start with what actually happened. So on August 12th, earlier this year, he last texted his wife at 10:49 p.m. on the lake while he was out kayaking. Okay, this is on Green Lake, which is similar to a lake that I grew up on. It's over 200 feet deep.
So Borgwart probably has a bad marriage then.
Borgwart's marriage, I mean, if you married into that family, you'd probably be doing a little rough as well. I don't know the family. I'm just spitballing here. We're having fun. So he sends a text. He's basically, hey, this is the situation. This is where I'm at. Yeah. Let his wife know. It's pretty late to be kayaking on a lake, in my opinion, unless you're looking to do some sort of late night fishing that I've never been successful at.
Okay.
But maybe this guy knows something I don't.
Depends what kind of late night fishing you're talking about.
Well, that's for another show, for another time, for another month. But Borgwart, so he goes out there, flips the kayak over, has his life jacket still in it, okay? Because the wife's like, where are you at? We haven't heard, and she goes out there and sees it.
Oh.
Kayak slipped over. He must have drowned. So they then conducted a 50-day search for this man.
Okay.
They had divers out there. They were looking around the shores, the banks. Did he wash up? Where is he? Couldn't find him. They couldn't find him. So finally, the investigators said, we got to start digging into this a little bit more. And they were able to track down some of it, like a digital footprint, right?
Yeah.
Because you leave a paper trail everywhere you go.
Unless you pulled out a bunch of cash or something.
Which you didn't think that far ahead. I mean, he did, however.
But even then, you have the withdraw.
You have the withdraw. There's a paper trail there, and they were able to determine, this is where it started. He took out a $375,000 life insurance policy in January of this year. So he had already planned this thing 8 months before he even flipped this kayak over. Now it goes further. The investigators then found, they were able to tap into his laptop. They found his passport photos. They were able to track a GPS location over somewhere in Europe, Eastern Europe. He had this whole thing planned out. Married guy, pulls out his life insurance, gets his passport dialed in, fakes his death, and then goes over to Europe. He's gotten away with it up to this point, but this kind of reminds me of that movie Catch Me If You Can a little bit.
So he got the insurance money?
Got the money.
Okay, so
you see what he thought he had this whole master plan.
Yeah, and he didn't want to include his wife to escape with him. Damn.
Nope, she was obviously the one that called in the missing body report or the missing person report, and that's what started this whole fiasco. And then the investigators were like, this just isn't adding up.
That's like an odd way. I mean, you avoid the divorce that way. You avoid the separation. You avoid the courts. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe now you have to go to criminal court for whatever kind of mischief this is.
Yeah, I don't know what you would get what this would cause, and it's got to be a felony of some sort.
Well, it's like you're faking it, and it's like almost robbery.
Yeah.
Because you're robbing the insurance company.
Yeah,
of this payout.
It's perjury.
Yeah, it's like a robbery of some sorts.
Yeah. So crazy stuff.
That is crazy.
People they try to do this shit, fake their own deaths, pull out insurance policies, all this shit.
You know what? On this episode, I'm going to go ahead and endorse Borgwart's decision, and I hope he stays a free fugitive out there in Europe, and I hope he enjoys the rest of his life.
All right. I wasn't expecting you to go that way. I think this guy's a horrible person, completely fucked over his family, lied to everybody, manipulated the system, and he thinks he's going to get away with it.
I hope he gets away with it.
All right, what do we got going with these monkeys?
That's too funny. Yeah, moving on. So people were freaking out last week over, Planet of the Apes is starting, and then we got Elon's Tesla robots. Oh,
those are weird.
Terminator is starting.
I'm telling you, guys. I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, look, and we got UFOs. It's all happening. But either way, so it's not Planet of the Apes, but 43 apes did escape from
43.
Lord. 43. Yeah, 43 total escape.
That's a lot.
On the last update, they had recovered 24 of these monkeys, not apes. My apologies. And this is South Carolina. Is where this is at. So they got 23 of these back. Apparently, the monkeys that came back, they are interacting with other monkeys within the facility, so that's a good thing. They're getting back adapted. The company, Alpha Genesis, They say that they will not stop until they recovered all the monkeys. They pose no public risk to health or anything like that. And what they do there is they breed monkeys to sell to medical and other researches. So, basically these monkeys are bred to then get experimented on for their entire lives. And it's almost like a animal torture, I would go as far as to say. That's not what this article is saying. That's what I'm making out of this company. Like, why else are you breeding monkeys for medical stuff? Because they're experimenting on them, right? And then so everyone was like, maybe this is the beginning of the Planet of the Apes, because they're escaping and this and that. So that's where we're at with that story. It was just kind of too wild and up my alley.
Do you think that like maybe it could have been an inside job and someone let them out on purpose and they just labeled it as an escape? They're like, we're going to free the monkeys. Get these guys out of here.
Yeah, because they're like developing a relationship. Like the main scientist is like, don't give them names. Why have you given them names? And then one researcher is like, no, I'm giving them all names and I'm setting them free tonight.
I think that's more likely than them escaping. I don't know. Monkeys are pretty intelligent creatures. Mm-hmm. They can think pretty logically. They're good, troubleshooters. They can analyze situations. So maybe the monkeys were, just work together as a team. Like, we're going to fucking do this. Well, we're escaping.
Hey, and just like on the last article, I'm going to go ahead and endorse these remaining monkeys that are still out in the wild there in South Carolina. I want them to live free, happy lives, and I hope they find a nice patch of forest to dwell in and live out the rest of their existence.
South Carolina isn't bad.
Just like Mr. Borgwart in Europe.
Yeah, no, Borgwart and monkeys over here. South Carolina, I mean, it's not the worst state, to be running around in, but interesting story. I'll tell you who I'm going to endorse. That's Iron Mike Tyson.
Okay, big event tonight. Let's go.
Big events. First time Tyson has fought in a competitive boxing match in 18 years.
Wow.
Under league rules and boxing conditions.
Okay.
He's done some other, stupid shit on the side, whatever, goofing off, doing movies, this and that. The man has done a lot of cocaine. I'm amazed his heart is able to, he's been able to train as hard as he's been training this year for this fight. Remember, this was supposed to happen back in July.
We could all bounce back, baby.
We can bounce back. Mm-hmm. This fight was supposed to already happen in July.
It was.
They had to cancel it.
Like on the plane.
He had a heart arrhythmia or whatever, probably from a specific thing
narcotic?
That was no, not narcotic. Probably so. If he decided to get the how do I say this without YouTube kicking us off? The thing that everyone got in 2021 that's causing heart problems. You know what I'm talking about, America. Probably got that bullshit. But anyway, look, it's a big night. Netflix, Dallas, Texas, sold out Cowboys Stadium. It's going to be epic. And look, whether you're a Paul fan or not, I respect the kid. He's built an incredible, situation for himself. He's young. He's an entrepreneur. He's making money like crazy. His brothers in the WWE. The Paul brothers, like him or love him, this dude's a fighter. And this is going to be, I don't think Tyson runs away with it. I think it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, well, I'm also going to endorse Mr. Iron Mike Tyson.
Let's go, Mike.
For this. And I'm going to be hosting a party, and I wish you'd participate.
Unfortunately, I have somewhere to be. I'm going to try to get there. Mm-hmm. Either way, I'm going to watch the fight because I have Netflix. I can watch it even if it's not live.
I'm going to get the basil docs.
We just ate Stoner's Pizza right here in Denver, Colorado.
I'm going to get the basil docs.
That's pizza 2 days in a row. Art, that's too much for me.
I know you think that's TSM.
It is, but I don't want pizza 2 days in a row.
So, are you betting on this fight?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How much?
Probably 100. I'll probably put 100 on Tyson.
100 on Tyson? See, that kind of makes it a little more fun, but I always just lose the money.
No, I'm betting on Tyson for sure. I mean, Paul would be the guy to bet on because I think his odds are of winning.
I mean, he's younger. He's taller. Doesn't he have longer reach?
I haven't even looked at what the spread is. I think Tyson's like a plus 125. So $100 would make you $25 if I did my math right. Odds change by the second. I don't know the odds, but I want Tyson to win. He's going to be 58 years old. What a way to go out, beating one of the up and comers in the sport.
Let's go, Tyson.
One for the old timers, huh?
Yeah, I want Tyson to get this. Show them why you bite ears and shit. He's a beast. Oh wait, no, Tyson didn't bite the ear. It was
Tyson bought.
Oh yeah,
he bit Evander Holyfield's ear off in like 1997.
Yeah, showed them who the monster is. That's how I feel about that.
Tyson's a beast.
Coming into this weekend, I'm going to be doing Lego Brick Fest.
Oh, is that this weekend?
Yes.
Oh shit.
At the Western Conference, 2 p.m. If you want to buy tickets, try to run into me while I'm out there. I'm going to be out there.
That's going to be fun.
At the Lego Brick Fest. And then also might go support my boy Cody Candelario. He's in town doing some chef shit.
Yeah, he's in town for sure. And some things you could do this weekend is check some new shit out.
Yep.
You could check some new shit out.
Like bricks, like Lego Brick Fest.
Yeah, or, just check some shit out.
If I could check out anything this weekend, I wouldn't say it here. But we could also go ahead. And actually, I thought this was a good one that you put in. Cleaning out the fridge.
Yes, clean out the refrigerator.
That's crucial.
Look, I'm not going to call it any names here, but there's people you know who you are, okay? And there's shit in your fridge that's been in there 4 months too long. It needs to go.
Yeah.
Just because it doesn't reek, just because it's not turning green, it needs to go. So clean your shit out, right? I'm not saying you got to scrub it down all the way. I'm more talking about check your dates. Let's get some good rotation going on in that refrigerator. Get rid of the spoiled product. Get rid of the fucking brown lettuce. Let's clean it up.
Yep, I agree with that. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Let's bring it home, Kev.
Yeah, well, of course, you can watch Twisters on Peacock too, Art.
Oh.
That just dropped today, right now.
Uh-oh.
Twisters is available. If you didn't see it at theaters, you could do that. NHRA Championships on Sunday. No more NASCAR, but this is the end of the drag racing season.
Has to talk about racing.
Love racing.
Can't help himself.
John Force Racing. Austin Prock's going to go win. I haven't predicted one single championship prediction right, so let's hope I nail this one. Austin Prock's going to take the Funny Car Championship this weekend for John Force Racing. I'm definitely going to watch that, and then I'm done talking racing until February. It's done. We've announced over on Mash the Gas that NASCAR Sky is joining us. We're super excited about that. Can't wait to get that rolling in 2025.
Congratulations.
And so that's it. It's just a great way. We're going into the weekend. It's time to get some rest. We're going to be running around. Thanks for your support of this program right here on the Discussion Combustion Production YouTube channel. Check out our episode with David Rush yesterday. Follow us on all social media, Instagram, Facebook, at Happy Friday USA. Twitter X, Happy Friday USA, where you can take the polls, check out the promo clips, have some fun. And if you even use email anymore, people don't do it, but we have one, and it's happyfridayamerica@gmail.com. What's that sound? That's the fricashinas. Let's go.